Hello, I'm Ollie and this is Criminally, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today I've got 5 huge books for you to lose yourself in on your summer holiday. So I don't know about you, but I love reading big books when I'm on holiday. There's something about being away from home, being completely switched off from work, not having to worry about the day-to-day routine of everyday life. That means I can lose myself in a huge book in a way that I might not be able to when I'm at home. So I've got 5 recommendations for you today of huge books that I think you could take on holiday and completely lose yourself in. They are 5 very different books from each other. So there's a bit of variety here. I think there's probably something for everyone. So I'm going to go through them with you. Do let me know in the comments if you've read any of them already and what you thought of them, and let me know what kind of books you like to take on holiday. Okay, so I'm going to start with a book that I did indeed read on a summer holiday. So It by Stephen King. I read this, I think the year it came out. I remember having a hardback copy that I got out of the library, and I remember reading it on my summer holiday. I vividly remember reading it in some sand dunes. I've got no idea where we were, but I remember reading it and I loved it. And it's a book that's largely set in summer as well, which gives it a nice summer vibe to read on summer holidays. I probably don't need to tell you too much about the plot. You probably know it from the movies and things like that. But it really is a wonderful book. And King is a great author at writing huge books. So he's known for his big books, but there's something about his writing that means that you don't feel like you're reading a huge book when you read them. The level of detail and things like that he injects into his books always, to me, or mostly for me, feels appropriate. It never feels like there's too much here. You really do lose yourself in the world of his books. Now, given that it is one that a lot of people have read by him, I thought I would give you another option for Stephen King as well. So this is, you kind of get 2 for 1 in the first book here. So the other one I was going to recommend is a more recent one, which I don't think has been read by quite as many people, and that's 11/22/63. Which is his book about a guy who discovers like a rift in time and manages to go back to 1963 and figures out that he can stop the Kennedy assassination. So it's kind of a bit of a sci-fi time travel kind of thriller, but at its heart, it's really a romance. So this is a wonderful romance novel, which is, it's huge. This hardcover is 700 pages. But it really sweeps you up in the relationship between the 2 main characters, as well as this, cool thriller storyline that it's got going through it as well. So definitely recommended if you don't fancy it. So moving on from horror and time travel to something very different, a Western. So Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, which is a wonderful book. It's full of the kind of things you expect to see in a Western. So, kind of stampedes and cattle drives and shootouts and things like that. But it's so full of wonderful, memorable characters that you really do care about all of the events in the book. So they aren't just things that happen on the page. There are things that happen to people, you've grown to know through the pages of the book. And that's why I think this is a book that really justifies its length, because it builds up that relationship between the characters and the reader to such an extent that every little thing that happens feels like it has, real meaning. So again, a huge book. This paperback edition is over 900 pages, but definitely one I would recommend. Okay, next up some non-fiction. One Summer, America, 1927 by Bill Bryson, which is a fascinating kind of popular history book. So Bryson is one of those writers of non-fiction who makes his work so accessible that it feels like you're reading a novel. It's really, really engaging and engrossing, this book. And as the title suggests, it's just about the summer of 1927 in America and various events that happen there. But Bryson manages to kind of tie them all together into a narrative which is completely gripping. It's amusing at times, it's moving, it's entertaining. It's a really fantastic non-fiction book. Okay, next we have The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay by Michael Chabon, which I just thought was a beautiful, beautiful book. So it's about these 2 Jewish guys in America in the 1930s creating a comic book. And that's basically it. It's about their lives, it's about their past, it's about them working together to create this comic. and it's just fantastic. It's completely engrossing. It's really moving. It's very funny at times. It's just a wonderful, wonderful book. So I started with a horror novel. In keeping with the channel, I'm going to finish with a crime novel, 5 Decembers by James Kestrel, which is a fantastic historical mystery. Starts on the eve of Pearl Harbor in Hawaii, and follows this detective who's investigating some murders. And it follows kind of the course of America's involvement in the Second World War through the eyes of this one character as he tries to figure out why these crimes have been committed. Just an absolutely fantastic, sprawling novel that's got, you know, kind of adventure, it's got mystery, it's got romance, it's got a bit of everything, and it's really a fantastically engrossing read. So I hope you found that interesting. Hope you found a book there that you can take with you on your summer holidays. If you do come back and let me know how you get on with it. And as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.